Hello, I'm the Anime Viewer 66, and today we're going to be taking a look at Star versus the Forces of Evil, Mathmagic. And OMG, can you believe that this was basically an episode of Rick and Morty? The plot is as follows. Star gets in trouble in class for goofing around and has to solve a really hard math problem. And yeah, I feel you there, girl. This whole thing about math is really confusing to me too. Like, some of the things they put in front of you in the board is just like, those aren't even real things. There's no way that actually is a real thing. It's just something you made up to torture people. I'm legitly convinced of that. But in any case, she has to solve it and then can't. She goofs around for a bit, but then she decides, okay, time to use magic, her sort of get out of jail free card as she uses for everything. But this time it kind of backfired on her, tearing a fabric of space time in half for some reason. They never actually explain how it does it. It's just a sort of thing at the beginning about how math has some magical property or whatever, but basic point is she destroys reality for a bit. She goes and visits Father Space Time, or rather Time to begin with, and he's like, not exactly the most helpful guy, shall we say, kind of on a one-tracked mind. Then we get to meet the Space Time deity, and his name is so outrageous I can't even begin to pronounce it. But basically, he is one of the deities that we met before. And considering last time we met the Scissor Girl deity, and now we're meeting the Space Time deity, I guess we're just going to meet all of these different deities in the coming episodes, which, hey, could be quite fun. I'm thinking that it's eventually going to end in us getting Glossaric back, considering he's apparently like a deity of sorts. Actually, from what we've seen in that episode, he's probably more powerful than any of them. But regardless, after her talk with the space time deity, she has to go back and solve the problem. And as she does that, everything goes way out of whack. The different parallel dimension hers start appearing, and everyone else starts changing and whatnot, and the thing just goes wibbly wobbly, timey wimey out of nowhere. And eventually she's able to quote unquote solve the problem. Well, it turns out that her answer was completely wrong, but the point is she tried, and that fixed it. Yeah, kinda anticlimactic, but hey, a good lesson for kids. Try your best, do everything you can, even if it's wrong, you move forward a little bit in your progression. So yeah, it's a good lesson, I guess. On a side note, have you noticed that a lot of shows have been doing this whole parallel universe thing lately? You have Gravity Falls, Rick and Morty, now this. I wonder if they're doing this to make it like a crossover thing in the future. I mean, obviously, Rick and Morty couldn't cross over with them unless they really toned down the Rick and Mortiness of it. But still, overall, maybe they're planning like a big crossover event with some of these shows, like they used to do with Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents. That would be awesome. So now I want to hear from all of you. What did you think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think that the whole new deities thing is really cool about having all these guys? Or do you think that it's a bit overkill and we're getting too much into them? I want to hear from you down below in the comments and whatnot. Tell me your opinions. Until next time, I am the Anime Viewer 66. Thank you and good night.